beautiful princess who had smooth and white skin named Snow White. Her mother died when she was a child, and now her father married again. The new queen was very pretty, but she was so mean to Snow White. The queen dreamed to be the most beautiful lady in the kingdom. She would often ask her magic mirror,
"Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful one in this kingdom?"
and the magic mirror would say,
"You are, Your Majesty."
One day, the mirror changed its answer.
"Your daughter, Snow White, is the most beautiful one in this kingdom."
The queen envied for Snow White's beauty, so she decided to order the huntsman to take Snow White to the forest and kill her.
I want you to bring me her heart.
When the huntsman reached the forest, however, he took pity on Snow White and set her free. He convinced the queen that he had killed Snow White by bringing a deer's heart and told her it was her heart. Deep in the forest, Snow White wandered all night to find a safe place. The next morning, she finally found a tiny cottage and went inside. There was nobody there. She only saw 7 plates on the table and 7 tiny beds in the bedroom. Then she went to the kitchen and cooked a delightful meal. She also cleaned the entire house. As she grew tired, she fell asleep on one of the beds. In the afternoon, the 7 dwarfs who lived in the cottage came home. They were surprised to find a girl was sleeping on the bed. Snow White woke up and told them her whole story. The dwarfs had great sympathy for her and asked her to stay with them. They loved and cared for her very much, so they told her to not open the door to strangers when they were away. Meanwhile, in the palace, the queen asked her mirror, and she knew that Snow White was still alive and lived with the 7 dwarfs in the forest. She was so furious and decided to make a magic potion that would put Snow White into deep sleep forever. Then she dipped a red shiny apple into the poisonous potion. One morning, the weak queen disguised herself as an old peasant woman. She came to the cottage and called Snow White through the window.
"Oh, pretty lady, let me in. I have something special for you."
"I'm sorry, old lady, I can't let you in. The 7 dwarfs have told to stay away from strangers."
"I have a juicy and sweet apple, my dear. Do you want it?"
Snow White took it, and just bite one bite, she fell onto the floor. The weak queen then went back to her palace. She once again asked her mirror, and now she was the most beautiful one in the kingdom. She was so happy to hear it. When the 7 dwarfs came home, they found Snow White lying on the floor. They were deeply upset and cried all night. Then they placed Snow White in front of their cottage. One day, a charming prince who was passing the woods saw it. He was dazzled by Snow White's beauty and then kissed her. The true first kiss had broken the spell, and Snow White awoke from the deep sleep. The 7 dwarfs were very happy. At last, the prince married her and took her to his palace. Then they lived happily ever after.